Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Last time we were on here, we investigated the killer's hideout and found out that they were not two, but three kidnappers. So now we are going to confront Mr. Lang. Where's the costume detective, Gumshoe? Just on the other side of the fountain, sir. Was it out here in the open all along? No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly. Let's get down to it. Yeah, I know it wasn't out here because I was out here earlier talking to the chief of police. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Well, this is obviously the costume. This headpiece. This must be the Blue Badger officer Meekins crossed paths with. Oh, the nerve of someone throwing a Blue Badger away like this. I worked so hard to create this character. It's like my baby. How could someone do this, sir? How? Detective, how about channeling your anger towards finding the culprits? Good idea. Oh, wait until I get my hands on... So who are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Why don't you try figuring that out yourself for a change? And then we have a pendant here. What do we have here? Oh, it's another pendant! That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby's made of platinum silver too. Another pendant on top of the one we found in Mr. Deacon? Whoops, wrong button. Is it possible that these two... Hold it right there. Oh, great. Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross a line, don't you? The Excuse me. A pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence. How can you tell? Look here and read off what you see. Lauren. Hey, it's a name that's engraved on this. Just pops this pendant out in my journal. Uh-oh. Hey. Aha! We have you now, Miss Kidnapper. No, you don't understand. Holly, I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers. Oh, God. Lance. You're kidding. Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers? Yes. It was me. I held Lance hostage. Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved or over. Yeah, we still have a third motherfucker to find. Hey, guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady. Again, Mr. Prosecutor? What is it this time? Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. We found it. Found what? That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. Who are you calling sham, pal? The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, I see. And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. Murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Shit. Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him. I can't believe it. Thanks for the confession. Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed. Look at you, so sure of yourself. You've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Miss Lauren Pops. Yes? I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder. But why? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. Isn't that enough? Hold on, damn! It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't? I got both of them stunned. I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as a losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today. Alright, run hands. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Armano would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. Uh-huh. There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I can at least respect that much. Miss Pops, is what you said really the truth? Yes, it is. If that is the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there's something that seemed a bit too improbable in her confession. One came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. Hang on, let me check my evidence real quick. Pendant, ice and gun, Pops' pendant, broken prop sword, love letter. Okay. Alright. You knew? How did you know something like that? Oh no, what should I do? Oh, she's in her monologuing. Okay, what's wrong with her now? Come on, isn't it obvious? You're making your scary face again, that's why. Why don't you try asking her in a nicer, more gentle way? No, stop it, Lord. You're always like this. You always fall for the stern-looking one. That's why you always be unhappy. Can you... Why do you... Put the scissors down, goddamn. Or maybe that's it. She's been bewitched by your icy glare. Mind your own business, Kay. Now then, Miss Pops, let's continue with your testimony. Oh, yes, of course. Okay, that was unfortunately useless. Well, that much is obvious. Hold it! Why do you think he did? I have no idea, but maybe he had planned on doing so from the very beginning. Miss Pops. Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning? Is that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Okay, do I have the... Nope, I got it. I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely. Huh? I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you. But why? We were total strangers. It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over money. Miss Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you? What do you mean? You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pops.
Take that!
Oh, okay, cool. Why are you showing this to me? So what about the pendant? This pair of wings, along with this piece of evidence, shows you who you really are.
Take that!
Mr. Deacons? These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree? Hey, you're right! They're the same color, and they're even made of the same material! I believe that these two pendants are actually one. Eh? Shall we give it a try? Hey, wow! It's totally Pegasus! But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's? You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be. No! That can't be! So the two make a set. Just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything. You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well, I'll show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant.
Take that!
Idiot. Fool. Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Devoray, the name that is etched on the horse pendant. What? An alias? I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Devoray's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this. This specific section of it reveals the true meaning behind those pendants. Sole daughter.
Take that!
Mr. Devoray had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pops. That's a lie. That person was not my father. He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in the kidnapping plot?
Not so fast!
And what is so funny, Agent Lang? You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you? What are you trying to say? Your thinking is much too innocent. After all, I've thought of another possibility. Is that so? Well, let's hear it. Alright, Lang. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible that that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano, and the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well? So this is his version of how things might have been. You don't have any proof that they didn't know of their true relationship, right? And you're saying that the two of them committed the kidnapping together? That's right, as one really rotten family. Is that really what happened? I'd better take a long, hard look at the evidence. Actually, I think... Do I have an evidence that can prove that there's 3? No. Fuck, nope. Alright. I'm definitely gonna need to press him. Hold it. You think they knew? Yeah, I don't think only the victim knew. I think the girl realized it as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they had to pretend that they didn't. Because he was on the lam? You got it. The victim couldn't exactly go around flaunting who he was. Furthermore... unfortunately, it was useless. One as a butler and one as the friend of the son, you mean? They probably thought that was their best shot. Is that what you honestly believe? Of course.
Hold it!
And two have made good use of the meetings. You mean how they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives? Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair. The butler and the girlfriend. No one would ever suspect that they were, in fact, family. Yes, from the very beginning, they painstakingly practiced those roles well. Sure. Would you say my scenario is probable? No. I believe you're being a bit too overconfident for someone with no evidence. Am I? Because I don't see you presenting evidence to the contrary. Shit. Without evidence, we're stuck in a stalemate. Agent Lang isn't wrong. His scenario is certainly a probable one. Better hurry up and do something, or Lauren's gonna wind up looking really bad. I know, but first things first, is Agent Lang's line of logic factually correct? Was Ken really committed by the two of them? By this father-daughter pair? No.
Objection!
Oh my god, I was right. This kidnapping wasn't planned by just 2 people alone. And what kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers. 3? 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout, but as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group, and I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. But who? Who is this mastermind? You're sweating like hell. I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. I think it's... Oh, wait, no, hang on. Yeah, this was a letter for Lance. It was a loan company, so Lance kidnapped himself to get the money. Lance Amano! Yes, this abduction was in fact schemed up by Lance himself. Recall what he said when he appeared before us. Did you see the faces of kidnappers? No, I didn't see the faces, but two. One was a woman. However, there were 3 kidnaps, which is in direct contradiction to what he said. But I know I only saw 2 people. This guy was being held hostage. It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them. Ah, yes, about when you were being held. I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive? I really don't remember much anymore, honest. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you? This fucking wannabe pretty boy, dude. I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room, blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could. Uh-huh. Through the underground passageway, I presume? Are you okay? Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right? No, not quite yet. Ah, how can you not? Why do you look at me with icy daggers in your eyes? Because he's a prosecutor, because they're all like that. I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And should they be interpreted to be cool at times, then so be it. There's a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little. Alright. Kidnapped yesterday morning. Had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time. Kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. And may escape and right out from the room as fast as I could. Okay, how did you escape? You never answered that. How did you manage to escape? I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked, which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape. I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I mustn't let it go unexamined. The door leading outside was locked tight, so I had to use the underground passageway. And let me press and see if I can get more of it. But I think the broken sword might be the correct answer. By underground passageway, you mean the ones the staff uses to travel unnoticed? I suppose that's what it's for, but I didn't run into any staff members on my way out. And once I was up top, I was busy trying to find a member of the police. And that is when you found us cowering and degraded at the stadium, I suppose? Let me ask you then, how did you get a hold of the key to the underground door? That was easy. I was hanging right in the room on the wall. I do recall a key hanging on the wall beside the table. Boy, does that bring memories of our situation and how we made our escape. Indeed, and although the door in the floor of our room led to an underground room, the door in the floor of the room next door had a secret passageway. Secret passageway during the theme park. Oh, it just sounds like so much fun. I wonder, is there something off about the way Lance made his escape? Alright, let's try it.
Objection!
Oh my god. You say that the door leading out was locked, but was it really? Did you just uncuff yourself just to put him back on? We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open, right, Sheena? Yes, that's correct. Then take a look at this. What's that? A sword? It's not especially a reliable one if it's broken like that. Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by this sword, which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why'd you not just simply remove the sword and escape? Why didn't I... I was disoriented. Yes, that's it. I didn't notice it. As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to the door. That is why you use the prop store to improvise and create a prison of your very own.
Knock 'em back.
You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way. What, motive? And what would that be? A motive. Yeah, I knew it. What else? Do you honestly think that an upright, pure boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself?
Objection.
Tisk tisk, motherfucker. I actually have the evidence right here.
Take that.
Haha. To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is, in fact, a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance? You didn't get... Looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man, too. Must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your own old man, huh? All right, I give up. I abducted myself. Lance? Oh, it's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that 1 million, but now, that dream is over. Oh, Lance! Then you are giving yourself up? Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you? Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money, that's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the Blue Badger costume. I mean, the artist officer Meekin saw was Miss Pops. Right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then Oliver put on a Bad Badger costume, took the suitcase with the $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. They had no idea that they were related, so I thought it could only be end badly. I still don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father. Huh? Ollie, then it really was you? Uh-huh. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. But that Badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot, the other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran, scared for my life. Big Fish finally coming into focus, don't you? Holly, forgive me, I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you. Oh my god, I'm gonna throw up. So, Miss Pops, she saw her own dad without even knowing who he really was? If what she says is true, are you saying she's lying? But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? You'd be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more, and you'll see. But, yeah. There's a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. That Badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There's a gunshot. The other person come to the ground, and I ran scared for my life. So...
Objection!
Nope, okay. Damn it. Oh, hey, I'm shooting. Frank forgot you were here. Damn it. You refrained from excessive talking?
Hold it!
So wait, Lance gave you a gun? You shot Mr. Deacon? Miss Pops? Yes, I shot him. And that, as I say, is that. Agent Lang, Miss Pops is far from done. She hasn't even finished her testimony yet. You going to continue questioning her? What a waste of time. Miss Pops, if you please. All right.
Hold it!
So she said there was a gunshot, not she shot him. Did you take off immediately following the gunshot? Yes. And you didn't attempt to approach the victim at all after he was shot? I was scared. I don't blame you. I would have done the exact same thing. Poor Miss Pops. What will become of her, Mr. Edgeworth? She seems to be telling the truth regarding what happened at the stadium. However, I don't believe it to be absolutely correct. Listen very carefully to a confession once more and you'll see. Okay, fine.
Hold it!
Were you able to clearly see the gun? Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me? Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't know. I don't want to believe it myself. But it's true. My father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Wait. Pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought. Miss Pops. Please calm down and take a deep breath. And then would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time? Yes, of course. The badger pointed the gun under the and shoot me dead. Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it the right hand? Would it be this, or would it be? You know, she said left hand, but it's clearly his right hand. Do I pull out the Bible or the missing gun? Missing gun.
Objection!
Nope, that's not it. Even after looking at this, can you say claim what you said to be true? Actually, I can. Damn it. Okay, so it's gotta be the Bible then. My feathers will not be ruffled. No, this is it.
Objection!
What the fuck? Okay, hang on. Maybe there's more. And you felt that your life was in danger, correct? Yes, I'm about to die, I thought. So... No, it's... am I dumb? That's not the one I want. No, that's clearly his right hand. How do I prove that it was his right hand?
Objection!
Where? Oh my god. Japut? It's a cravat and it's a fashion statement, not a gag. I need to calmly listen and then present. Okay, am I stupid? Fuck.
Hold it!
I'm gonna press on this. Please calm down and let's slowly talk through this. But all you have to do is simply tell us what happened at the stadium. Leave it to us to search out the truth. Can you do that for me? Alright, so at the stadium... Oh, fuck. Maybe this? That was the ransom money, wasn't it? That's how I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It's all thanks to what Lance told me. And what did he tell you? Well, he called me on my cell phone and told me that Mr. Deacon had betrayed us and had run off with the ransom money. And Pops about how he had a gun. I'm all sorts of Okay. So it's gotta be something with this, because I was able to get new information. No. Oh, wait. Dominant hand right. Fuck you. I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed. Then the person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. Bad Badger has a model attached to his right hand, which is why the only which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun with was his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that? Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it. Enough with the smugness, out with it already. Miss Pops told us earlier there was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops? Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face. But if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger, and yet the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. It wasn't the Bad Badger, both hands were not occupied. No, actually, both were correct, actually. They are both correct. Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction. Miss Pop's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there's a way for the Bad Badger to freely use both of his hands.
Take that!
Get your head on straight, Mr. Prosecutor. That doesn't show me diddly squat. I knew it. What if it was just a mirage? Okay, is it the head then? Yeah. So created this contradiction about what did what.
Take that!
There we go. The costumes have two parts of them, a head and the body. Oh, I get it now! The head of Miss Popsaw was probably really the head of the Bad Badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger? A different badger? Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the Bad Badger Miss Popsaw really belonged to... It's one of these two, obviously. I'm gonna go Proto Badger. What? The heck is it? It's the Proto Badger. Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the blue Badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink Badger is of the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the Proto Badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the Proto Badger costume? That would be Lance. Are you saying that what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the Bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing? The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that, a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she would pull the trigger. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have to pull all that, huh? There's but one reason. Lance Amano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. What? No! That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. Just out of curiosity, Lynch, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed. What does that have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held a gun in his left hand. Ha! Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the Proto Badger's bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right?
Objection!
Of course. Logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet.
Take that!
The model gun. We found one half of a Bad Badger costume in hideout, a broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the Bad Badger carries, which can fire blanks. What? Miss Pops, where's the gun you used now? I threw it away into the sea. That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although, I believe we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question. I've heard enough. All we've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right, and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. Ha! I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame. Please, wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance. She saw the victim in the state of being restrained? This is going to be interesting. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. Wait. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape. No. That's wrong. Well... Okay, hang on. So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right? He thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at the time. And then, the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, excuse me. Miss Pops saw the victim with her own eyes, which means that the victim was still alive at the time, wouldn't you agree? Does this sound wrong to me? Must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail. No, I know exactly what's wrong. Came back to blah, 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 blah. You. That was not Mr. Deacon tied down. Oh shit, wrong button. Hold it. You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw? Yes, I am certain of what I saw. Did you go into the other room to check? Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul. Then are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself? I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a Bad Badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. That just had to be Mr. Deacon. She saw a Bad Badger head. Captain had a Bad Badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure it was Mr. Deacon.
Objection!
Fuck you. Silence yourself now. Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all. Huh? The person you actually saw was this person. It was me! Yeah. Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth? I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me even after I had handed over the ransom? Yeah, you're sweating now, motherfucker. It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at the time. Well, Lance, am I right? That's... You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with the Bad Badger's head on, and then made your costume to escape together, or so you pretended. Huh? Well, what do you mean he pretended? Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the Bad Badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword, he then escaped via the passageway. Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave? We've heard a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment, all of that could have happened while you were out cold. That's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam. I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing. Okay. Who said that? Please, wait. Mr. Amano. Oh, Miles, my boy. It looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others. Dad? Let's see. You're the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, do you now? Oh! That's a costume. Is that what I think it is? It's the Bad Badger costume the victim was wearing, and a gun! I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears they were disposed of in the sea. There's no one in this country who actually obeys the law. There. Now. Agent Lang, please calm down. The heck is that scrap of paper? This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Amano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says. What? The Chief of Police? What the... Just who does he think he is? He did create this place. The person who wields the highest authority in this area. Thank you, Sheena. There now. There is no need to be so upset. I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country. Now. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything, it's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. Can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified that the blood on the costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren. What? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. That's it? These are the case-making pieces of evidence? I'll be the judge of that. I'm gonna listen until I inspected every nook and cranny. Okay, so we have gun. Could this gun be the actual murder weapon? Bravo data. Nothing you about to say. Alright. There's a piece of glass here. What's this? Looks like there's something inside the costume head. Hey, they sparkle! I bet they're really valuable. Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. Why are they in here? Interesting. Is there something I'm missing? I can't examine the... Oh, the bullet hole. Right. I'm real, I thought that was a wet spot. This bullet hole. It looks kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is the most important fact. Why is that? Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. Interesting. Well, are these not the most definitive piece of evidence you've ever seen? Thank you, Dad. It should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Oh, great. Decisive evidence. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on the murderous gun, and they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life, so Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. Uh-huh. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all! Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however, I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You wounded me. Why won't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence? Uh-huh. Making a mistake, their fingerprint on the murderous gun, blah. If it was Lolly who killed Oliver, Oliver was also about Lolly's life. Oh, fuck. However, the truth does not lie here. It lies in whatever is hiding from me, but not for long.
Hold it!
Justified self-defense. I suppose that is a possibility given the circumstances. Really? Oh, thank goodness. However, self-defense was not necessary in this case. What do you mean? Miss Pops is innocent. She didn't do anything, so why would she need to defend herself from nothing? You still don't believe a word I say, do you? His entire argument... Okay.
Hold it!
I refuse to believe that Oliver would. And why do you believe that the victim was set on taking Miss Pop's life? I suppose it's because he wanted to silence her. To keep her quiet because she knows the truth behind the kidnapping. In that case, why did he not target you as well? That's because... because he knew that if he killed me, he wouldn't be able to control my father. Huh, right you are. Even if it cost me millions, I would have had the killer found. I believe he didn't kill you for an entirely different reason. However, I digress. Look, more than why didn't he kill me, I'm worried about what'll happen to Lolly. I refuse to believe that Oliver's after her life. Fuck. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Objection!
Shit. I'm not your pal or even your ally. Is there a line of logic? Explain it yourself. My bad. So you're not exactly looking to leave either. Okay.
Objection!
What the fuck? Lance, I think you find that this evidence speaks to the contrary. Are you sure they ought to phrase it that way? There are no takebacks when you make a guessing mistake, you know. Guessing mistake. Yep, that's Mr. Prosecutor, all right. God damn it. Oh, fuck. I didn't press on these two, but I thought...
Hold it!
Maybe? Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops? There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensics techniques money can buy performed. I find that to be a bit peculiar. What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Alright. You know what? I got nothing to lose. Frankly, I don't believe what Miss Pop's prints should be on that gun, to begin with. Fuck. The reason why Miss Pop's prints should not be on the gun is... the costumes? They're wearing gloves. It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon, because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume. Huh? But there's been no mistake. We found the fingerprints. Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all at any time? Yes. As a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house. To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. There you have it. That is when Miss Pop's prints found their way onto the gun. Grr. Do you understand now, Mr. Amano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer. But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, Lance. What? No way. I'm incredibly worried about her. That doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence. If you get... take the cuffs off or leave them on, pick one. The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium, the whole affair is simply not true because was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. It would be the glass. Bro, this piece of evidence proves that the real crime scene is not in fact at the stadium. Damn it. At least that's 6.8 out of 10. Still going to be arrested. Oh boy. Stadium. Then the scenario where the victim was up on the stage and Miss Pops was down below. It must be something that invalidates it. Wait, the gun wound. Let us take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. I am in a fraction of I need to get this right or else. Then I believe you'll see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it. Wait. The bullet hole. The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range. Ah, so then you mean the murder Miss Oldbag saw at the scene really was... Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Ah. Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is, then? Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was imprisoned was... The haunted house is the only one that has a mirror in it. I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed was the haunted house. I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in this haunted house. The haunted house? Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely that the victim was killed there. Oh my god, that's... Oh my god. Don't... Okay. Ah! These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror. Mirror? What does that have to do with anything? Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume. Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous. However, there's one place I can think of where there's a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance Amano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. After that, you stole the Blue Badger-mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when Blue Badger-mobile was stolen confirms this as fact. Uh-huh. Miles, my boy, say no more. I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that. Be quiet. Yes, please, do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. Ernest Amano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you? I don't need words. The only thing I got is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnappers' hideout? Yes, there was a mirror there. Oh shit. A mirror that's for the haunted house. You see? Isn't it possible that the fragments got into the costume there? But, Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. Probability? Lang Z says, on Truth's Pad, the word probability does not exist. How many of these scenes are just him making shit up on the spot? The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is do you have the definitive proof you need? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you? I don't think so. Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no. See? Since you don't have any, shut up! I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house, besides myself, were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder. What now, Mr. Edgeworth? Agent Lang, I have a special request. Yeah? Quit heaving. I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house. Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission? Because I don't really have a choice. If I want to find the truth... Alright, permission granted, but you're not to touch a single thing, got it? That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is. Sheena! I'm here. Put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately. Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval. Huh? Who was that? Now. Let's hold on for a second. There's no need to obtain approval. Mr. Amano? Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. What is this? Sheena! What, can't you read? It's the deed to the haunted house. The deed? Read it out loud. Gatewater Land Inc. hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million, paid in full in cash. What? As you can see, I'm now the legal owner of the haunted house. Are you kidding? When did you... I ran into the owner of the park earlier and we made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. That $1 million you paid, don't tell me it was... Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belonged to you, doesn't it? Oh, I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. You used the ransom money! My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are. So if you would please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What's there to discuss? Why? Excuse me. Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course. Oh, great. While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amano was out there preempting us. Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper. Mr. Amano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. And that's where I'm leaving it off. Oh, that took a little bit longer than I had expected. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time.